drink some water. Oh, catch my breath. Video, that's a wrap. I have to go somewhere, so I am going to take this robe off. If I could wear a robe in public, I would. 103 participants after one. Please shut my door. We're getting right into it. No time to gab. Okay, but let's go ahead and dive into it. This video is created because honestly, finding concealer has been challenging. I am with you. I am also in the stores. I am online shopping. I'm like, where do I start? How do I do it? And I just want to walk y'all through from start to finish on the best concealers that I have found that I truly believe that you will put your money back and back and back into. And that is what I have fallen in love with, is these certain brands that I'm going to talk to you about. Some I'm not very happy with, but we'll get into that. The first concealer that I ever bought was the Tarte, and it was the Shape Tape. So that's what it looks like. You can get it at Ulta, you can get it online. It's actually tried and true. Like, it's a really good brand. It always gets top ratings. By the way, this video is not like, this is my favorite to my whatever. Like, I'm not scaling them. I'm not rating them by, like, you know, least to greatest. I'm just telling you the truth about what I have found from using them. So that concealer, let me just be honest with you, I actually did buy several. But I think the last one that I got was a little bit too light for me. So then when I went back to get more, I was kind of like, I'm ready to try new brands. You know, you kind of get like, it works, but let me try some new things. But I want to tell you about this brand in particular that I was really happy with. So having the Shape Tape, the few details on that I did love is that it is 16 hours of wear. So I want longevity. That makes me very happy. It does smooth and brighten. It is a very soft formula, I did notice, but my only concern with it, every time I used it, the dry down is fast. So it does dry fast. So if you don't work quick, it's very hard to blend. So honestly, when it's in place and position, it's good to go. But I will tell you that. But also, I didn't know this, but I was excited to hear this. It's probably why I did love the way that it felt, but it has shea butter in there and it has mango butter in there. It has some really great key ingredients to help with the smoothness of the product. So when you're really looking at a particular product, you really do want to look at the ingredients. What are they putting in them? It is cruelty free, so that makes me very happy. And most products these days are leaning towards that, so you should not have a lot of issues with that. But the whole thing is too, it talks about crease proof for 12 hours. I cannot tell you yes or no to that from experience because it's been several months since I actually used it in my daily routine. I just know when I did use it, I went back and got another one and I actually used it every single day when I did my makeup. So I would say if it did creasing and it did look cakey or whatever on me, I wouldn't go back and get it. But I will say it does dry down fast. Just know that. And they do sell it in a mini. So I do like, actually, I tell y'all this a lot, go get a mini. Get a mini first before you get the full size. Even though you can do an easy return at Ulta or Sephora, that's where I lean to go get my cosmetics. But if you're buying them online or things like that, just read the terms and conditions. But you want to make sure that you know that. But the minis are nice just to give you a little tester, you know. The next one I ended up getting was from NARS. And I actually loved it. I'm not really sure why I didn't go back to NARS, and honestly I think it's because I just wanted to try some new brands. And when you know something works, you're like, I will go back to it, you know. So but NARS was so good. I felt the difference from using the Tarte Shape Tape to the NARS. It was like magical. I was like, why does it feel so good? And I think it was the applicator was really different, so I liked that about it. But I will tell you some details on it that I really was a fan of. It's also, it talks about 16-hour long wear, so that's wonderful. It's a creamy concealer, and it is long lasting, of course, it says. But these are some benefits to this. It says a multi-active botanical blend including magnolia bark extract, grapeseed extract, and vitamin E, just to name a few. It hydrates, it firms, it reduces redness, and it strengthens the skin around the eyes. So something I'm a huge fan of is skincare ingredients infused into your products. I just think if you're going to be wearing makeup all day, it's really nice to know that there's extra benefits and layers to that are actually going to help your skin. So that is something I think that I noticed with NARS, that I was like, dang, it actually feels good. And it just felt like my skin, but it had really wonderful coverage. If y'all hear a lot of noise in the background, my boys are riding four-wheelers outside, so it's a little noisy at my window. They keep zooming by. But I loved that one, and it was a good one. And honestly, I would say put your money there, because I think it's tried and true as well. You know, as a makeup artist with so much experience working with clients, I wish that I had tapped into these brands, because I can see how they would benefit different clients and different women. And, you know, our eyes are all very different. So age range and things of whatnot. So honestly, I loved it. I thought it was wonderful. But again, check out the site, check it out in store, test it on the back of your hand, see how you feel with the formula. Is it thick enough for you? Does it cover enough for you? Find a spot on your arm that you're like, let me see the coverage and what it looks like, and the buildable, you know, layering process. What does that look like? You know, really kind of have that experience with the product. And again, they have minis, so that's great and wonderful as well. So anyways, it's a good one. Definitely grab that one up. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. Now we're going to get into the products that I actually have at my house that I am using on a regular basis. And my third concealer that I had bought, that I was like, no, I'm gonna give this a go. Let's test this one out. And honestly, I think it's so funny how I chose these brands. I'm like, what made me go for them? I don't know. I just spend a lot of time in the makeup store, and I read a lot online and watch a lot of content. So I'm like, I think I was just influenced potentially, tested it out, and I was like, I actually think I'm gonna enjoy it. So I got the Mercier, and I'm testing it out right here for you so you can see it. And literally, I think if I were to say which one is my favorite, I think I would actually lean really high on this one. This is actually one that I do grab more than likely. I think that's when you realize what you like the most. Which one are you grabbing in your makeup case, in your makeup bag? What does that look like? So here are some of the benefits of it. And I also love that they told this online. So it has the features over here, and it says, based on an independent US consumer study on 31 participants after 2 weeks of use. You know, when you hear these studies and you're like, well, how many people actually tested it? Was it 100 people? You know, less than 100, what, thousands? Like, what does that look like? So them actually giving those figures, I thought was genius. And I was like, okay, now I love this, the honesty there. But they noticed 12 hours, long wear, all day, last all day, right? Love that. Hydration, no drying, crease resistant, water resistant, transfer, sweat proof, humidity resistant, all these things. Let me be so clear with you. I cry often with a full face of glam on, and I can just cry. I cry over things that have to involve my family and my children and my husband, or a song comes on the radio, I'm in tears. What is happening? But my makeup, I swear to y'all, it really is like bulletproof. But I've noticed in this concealer, I'm very aware when I'm having these moments, and I'm like, what makeup did I put on? What powder did I put on? What foundation is on today? Because I'm trying to like take mental notes. And this one is like, nothing's getting through it. Nothing's getting through it. And I love this one a lot. You can see the big difference here. You also notice I like to get like a shade or two lighter than my skin tone. Typically I do 2 shades lighter than my skin tone, depending on what the season is. But I do like having a lighter one, and I do like having concealer that matches my skin color, just because of discoloration or things like that I want more coverage with. Well, I do have to say, there's not a lot of skincare ingredients in here. There's just cosmetic ingredients, guys. So there's not anything full or boosted or whatever gonna help you while it's sitting on your skin, but it does feel wonderful. And I guess that is why, one of the reasons why nothing's getting through it. It just is what it is. But I am a huge fan of this, and I definitely think if you did purchase this as well, you would also be very happy with it. You would not be disappointed. So I'm happy to hear, like, if you do get these concealers and what you think about them. Okay. Now the next one is the Fenty Beauty. I have loved so many products from this line. I'm like, they're just doing the things. They're doing it right. And it makes me very happy with the purchases that I have made. I actually have on the Fenty foundation today as well, and I do love it. I will just have to say, it doesn't have a lot of skincare ingredients in it. It definitely feels a lot thicker. It is full coverage, so but I do really enjoy this foundation. So, but let's talk about the concealer, and I can show you me putting it on here. I do have a shade that's a lot lighter. I probably don't need this light of a shade. This is probably why I don't grab it as often, because it is very light on me, but it works for when I need it for certain areas, and also I can blend it out and make it work. It's fine. So I've not really fussed with it, but the next time I'll probably bump up the shade and not have to go as light. But it does hold up to 12 hours of staying power, so I do love that. It also talks about not creasing and fading and sweating in the humidity, no flashback, which is really amazing. Transfer proof and waterproof, so that's really amazing as well. And so what I've noticed about using it is that it really is a thicker formula. So, and it's not the smoothest blend, like it's smooth, but you know the difference. Like sometimes you feel like, well, it's smooth, but it blends really nice. This one's smooth, but it like takes a little bit more effort to blend it. Do you know what I'm saying? And then sometimes you can see a little bit of the texture of the skin under the eyes. So I notice on me that I notice a little creasing with it, but I also have a lot, like I have little fine lines right here. So it's not even the creasing of the product, but when you have skin that has like a significant dip in it, the product's gonna go there. Do you know what I mean? It's very hard to avoid that, but I really do like it. It actually is a formula that I know that I will go back and I will purchase. I will just make sure I bump up the shade one level, and then probably get like a skin tone as well, because it actually does give great coverage. And I have a couple areas like on my face that I do like to add a little extra coverage to. So one in particular is right here, and I was doing that in these videos. I have like this sunspot that's populated over the last like 2 years, and it's super annoying. So I am going to get some facial treatments and things like that. I think I'm like getting at that peak of the age, and I'm okay with it. So just noticing though, with the cosmetics, it does cover, and I'm very, very happy with it. So Fenty Beauty has been definitely a list of ones that I would say, yeah, these are really tried and true. They're really good, and you're not going to be disappointed at all, you know? I think you can cut corners sometimes with products and be like, well, you really can't see the difference. But these are like, I don't think you can cut corners with these. Like, I believe these are really good. They're covering and they're smoothing and they're soft, and, you know, they just work, you know? You can't be disappointed about that. So it makes me very happy. So another product that I'm going to tell you about for a concealer is House Labs. And that's all I can probably say, and then skip over it, because it is just amazing. It is amazing. Just like the foundation, this concealer does the exact same thing. So I'm using my finger to apply this one. And what I noticed is that it even like tells you, like, you can use your finger, you can use a brush to apply it, and it would be wonderful. But I noticed even with using anything, your finger's not going to absorb the product. You're not going to have brush strokes and things like that. Personally, I avoid using brushes as much as possible, but sometimes I do need them just for the blending and getting in those little creases. But this one applied so well because it literally applies like skin. That's why I'm so happy with their foundation. It's infused with skincare. It literally has long wear, and it is beautiful. Now, this is what happened though. I have had a little bit of a challenge finding my shades in a lot of these concealers. I have been looking for months, and I know you're probably saying what I am going to tell you right now. I can just order them online, and I can. I don't know why I've not been like, let me go do that. I have something in me right now that's like, I just want to go in the store and touch, feel, see, and I want to grab it, and I want to have the satisfaction of like just being in the store. I think it's so fun. I think I'm just like overdosing all the time. It's so much joy for me, but that's also my place to like study and absorb, and I just like being in the atmosphere of it. But this one actually matches my skin complexion, so I use this a lot for more color correcting on my face and like to add layers and more full coverage. But this one actually looked beautiful under my eyes, and you can see the brightness that it really gave. But 100% I am so happy with it and sold on it, so I can't wait to get the one that's actually in my shade. need. There's a lot of concealers that I wanted to put into today's video as well, but I've just had a time. They haven't either had them in stock. The Kohl's stores that have the Sephora in them, they don't house everything, so every brand's not in there, and if they do have the brand, they don't have the full line. So that's also been a challenge. I have 2 Sephoras that I go back and forth with. So I can't wait to update you in more videos with more colors that I get in these brands. It's gonna be really fun to create makeup looks with them. So the next one I want to show you is one that I've had for a while, and then I have a couple other ones, and then that will kind of wrap this. But I hope that you stay, because I have an opinion on one that I actually have on my face right now. Can you share? Maybe take a wild guess. Which one do I have on my face right now? Do we know? But the one that I want to show you now is from Benefit. I have been like, whoa, I kind of love this. But I have like, you know, I have my opinion on it. So these are the 2 that I got. One is more of a yellow tone and one is more of a pink tone. And I'm doing these on both sides of my face just so you can see the difference. But you guys, I love these. I don't know why I don't grab them as often. Sometimes I'm just like leaning towards like give me the coverage, but these really allow your skin to look like your skin, but they honestly, they are color correcting, and that is really what they're marketed for. So it's a 3-in-1 brightener. It's illuminating. It's a color corrector for dark circles, which is great. 8 hours of long wear. Some of these brands have said 12 to 16. But then also, one of the things that I loved about them as well is that they also gave the facts, and this 103 participants after 1 week, and these are like the results that they have given. 94 said the finish is illuminating, which it really is. So it gives like this just supple, like skin-like glowing type of look. And then 95 said skin looks soft and supple. So that's literally what it is. And I'm like, whoa, that's a high percentage. 94, 95. I love that. But I've gone back and I've ordered these too. I've like been like, these are ones I just need in my makeup case. You know, you always have those staples that you never want to be without. I feel like these are that, and they're affordable, you know, and that's also another thing. I'm like, if they're going to be affordable and they last a long time, these are really great investments for your makeup bag to have. So I was so excited about that. But I know you probably ask yourself these same exact questions, and I want to make sure I can clarify this. Why should you have a peach and why should you have a pink? Let's dive into the color correcting and what that's really meant for. So if you have more blue and purple undertones in your eye, so you notice like more of the veiny look, and you just notice more of just like, you know, the purpley look that looks just like you haven't had any sleep at all, that really needs like more of the peachy pink. Who should really use peach concealer? So I'm going to show you the difference right here so you can see both sides. And honestly, I have a medium skin tone. I don't really have a lot of dark circles. I just have more shadowing and like caving under the eyes a little bit. So, but this right here is ideal, and this will help you a lot. But the light to medium skin tone, honestly, the peach coloring is going to help more for dark circles. And then more of the pinky tones are going to help with brightening, like more for like your cool tone skin. So I would just suggest, honestly, really sticking by this rule. The blue and the purple kind of hues and undertones of your skin, really stick with more of the pinky peach type of tone, and that's going to help eliminate that and really just color correct, because that's really what you're doing. You're just working like an artist, like color correcting. But then if you have more like brown and really like deep dark circles, then you really want to go with orangey peach in your corrector. So that's really going to help you, honestly. So you'll see one side of my face is more of like the orangey peachy look, and the other side is more pinky. So just really going off of that, I personally like for my face the pink better. But if I had really dark, like brown dark circles under my eye that look like, girl, you hadn't slept, even though you know you've slept, you're like, my eyes are just dark, then you want to make sure that you're getting something with like an orangey to like a peachy type of tone to help color correct that. But if you just notice veinies and blue and just like thin skin, right, and it just, you can see all that, the coloring in your skin, then lean towards more of the pink, and that's going to color correct that as well. But if you want to get a little bit deeper, I do have a great video here on my channel also that helps with like the color correcting and understanding the color wheel and things like that, and I think it would be so beneficial to you. So I'm going to link that in the description so you can check that out. Okay, the last concealer product that I'm going to show you today is so new to me, and I hadn't seen it before, but it caught my attention when I was in the color correcting area, and I was like, oh my gosh, let me just try this. we'll see what happens. Actually, this is not the last one, but this is one of the last. But this brand is called Milani right here. I'm going to show you this on my face. So it's the Supercharged Brightening Under Eye Tint. And it really is a tint, you guys. I put this on and I'm like, okay, it's so thin though. You can see also it's a squeeze. So I just like dotted it on my face. You know, I like to have like the applicator. That wasn't happening, and so I just dotted it and I blended it, but then I felt like I blended it away. I felt like you could see more of the pink on my skin and not, you know, the peachy, and I was like, that's weird. So then I added more peach. I don't know. It was just so thin and it felt very like watery and things like that. So it was very affordable for sure, but that's what I mean by cutting corners. Like, we don't always have to cut corners to try to get the best results, and just because you see a product, it doesn't always mean it's going to work for everyone. So this might be perfect for a starter, you know, just to kind of get used to it and see if it works for you. And then you can build on that. But honestly, if you need more coverage, this did mark it and said tint. So it's really not a concealer. But it was very intriguing to me because I think that we all see this in the stores and online. So we're like, will it work? And I just wanted to tell you, you can see right here, it just doesn't do the job. So... but it is wonderful if you're just doing a no makeup look and you really have wonderful bright skin, but your under eyes just need a little bit of help. This probably could be wonderful for you. So go check it out and let me know in the comments if you use this. So again, that was Milani Supercharged. Yeah, and it said brightening under eye tint, so it did market that. All right, well, the concealer that I have on my face today that I do want to spend some time talking about is tried and true for me. This was one of my first favorite brands that I started experimenting with, and I was so excited about it, but it is from the Kylie line. I have to just tell you guys, I'm a big fan. So I know there's so many more concealers out on the market that I have just not tapped into yet. And you know, I'm only one face, so how many concealers does a girl really actually need? Let's be honest, but I am looking forward to getting more so I can go and, you know, give you my honest review on them. But this one really got me excited. The applicator is stunning and beautiful just because I'm like, oh my gosh, the technology behind it with the point, it's really gonna get in there where I need it to be. The color was great. It blended flawlessly. The coverage was wonderful. I am very happy with it. Y'all, I have it on my face right now with a full face of makeup and I love it. Like, I don't notice like crazy creasing, like it really stayed. And I also set this today with a pink powder from Huda Beauty, so that cherry blossom, and I am such a fan. I love this concealer. So this is new to me and I'm definitely like, okay, I like it. I need a couple in this shade now, you know? I think that that's where I'm at, and that probably is where you get to. You find a favorite product and now you need a winter and summer shade, and you need, you know, a skin tone to help color correct, but you also need a brightener to help, you know, just brighten under the eyes and help with your accentuating when you're doing your makeup and things. So it just is really fun to experiment with different brands, but find the brand that works best for you. These were my recommendations for you today that I really feel like this year and many years to come that you will be so happy with these. So I thank you for being here, and I'm really looking forward to making more fun videos like this for you. If you're enjoying this playlist, let me know. This is a newer playlist. It's called Beauty of 2024, but I do want to create like this whole playlist that talks about like the buildup of the face. So we did the foundations, which that video hit really well, which I am so overly pumped about. I'm so glad it's doing great, that I really feel like that is just a really good base for you to feel confident to be like, that's the foundation I'm gonna go buy in the store, you know? And so I hope that you feel that way about this concealer video. So take this, run with it, go test out some products in the store, come back and let me know which one's your favorite, and maybe there's a concealer I have not tested out yet because I have not had my shade in the store. Y'all, that's the only reason, or I would have already purchased it. Trust and believe that. So I'm going to be getting online. I've been taking notes in my phone of my shades that I've tested out in the store, so I'll be buying those online. But I'm excited. So thank you for being here. Subscribe if you loved it, and I look forward to seeing you in the next upload. Love you.